Right, good morning. It's an honor to be able to speak with you today in this very room on the importance of regenerating ecosystems. This year, the Secretary General asked all of us coming to UN Week to bring plans of action. I'm proud to say that across the many business areas of Mars, we long passed the planning phase, and we are well into the doing. We recognize the importance of needing to rethink our approach to our raw material supply chains, and have had several ecosystem regeneration programs in place for a number of years. And all have one thing in common: using the most important and free nature-based solution of all, which is photosynthesis. Across the world today, smallholder farmers are faced with declining soil health, increased incidences of pests and diseases, declining yields, not to mention insufficient food to feed their families and income to send their children to school. This is unacceptable. We need to rethink how we approach farming and move from a monoculture mindset to one that is based on regenerative principles and incorporates all the benefits that natural-based solutions provide. What you see here is a science-based design layout of a 15-year life diversified cocoa farm that is half the traditional number of cocoa trees per hectare, and instead incorporates a range of other cash tree crops and fruits such as mango, durian, nutmeg, spices such as black pepper and chili, and other fruits such as pineapples and papaya, not to mention a central vegetable garden. The farm also includes hardwood trees for living savings accounts such as red teak and mahogany. And key to the farm layout are nitrogen-fixing sengon trees to provide shade and free nutrients to the soil. I should point out this is in Indonesia. That's a native tree to Indonesia, so we're not introducing an invasive species. The entire farm ecosystem is intended to enable a positive insect microbiome above ground and soil microbiome below ground. Only time will tell if we got it right, but early indications are promising. Here is what it looked like just after we planted it in November 2017. Here's what it looked like just after we planted. Here's what it looked like 1 year later. And here's what it looked like last month. The beauty to the tropics, from an ecosystem perspective, where you have a lot of sunlight, humidity, you design things, you think about the sun and lay it out according to the sun, stuff will grow. The layout is also specifically designed to increase the natural services provided by key pollinators. He's ahead of the game. This slide here, all right, you went backwards? This slide here shows the amazing growth rate of the sengon. Cocoa only needs 30% light to grow, and the shade provided by the sengon will drop the average temperature 4 degrees C. And this is work that's been proven by ICRAF and other agroforestry groups around the world. If you design systems with the right amount of shade, you can actually drop the temperature. This is an example, oops, hang on, where are we? There we go. This is an example of some of the fruits and vegetables harvested in the first 2 years for food and for sale. And here is what is presently hanging on an 18-month-old cocoa tree, showing the dramatic improvements we have made in clonal breeding using the knowledge gained from decoding the cocoa genome. We firmly believe we can achieve up to 1.5 tons per hectare with half the number of trees. We now have 4 such diversified farm locations across Sulawesi, with plans to add more next year and bring the approach to West Africa. With respect to coral reefs, we have lost half the world's reefs in the past few years, primarily due to rising ocean temperatures. And left on their own, reefs can take decades to recover. For those of you who want to know why Mars is rebuilding reefs, I can explain to you that offline. Okay? For the past 8 years, we've been working in Indonesia and are now undertaking what is likely the largest and longest controlled coral reef restoration science trial in the world. With the support of the various relevant local authorities and national ministries, we have developed a simple, community-based, mass production-like system which ultimately rebuilds the reef structure. A small team can place between 7,000 to 10,000 coral fragments and rebuild an area of a basketball court in 1 week. This room could be built with probably 15,000 fragments over the course of about 6 days, 7 days. The picture you see here, no, you need to go backwards one. There you go. Thanks. The picture you see here are of 2 rangers from one of the 7 Indonesian marine national parks who we've been actively training this past year. Where we are working on the Indonesian flow-through, we have consistently seen amazing growth rates, resulting in coral cover increasing from 10 to 70% in 3 years. Here is 1 year. Here is 2 years. And here is 5 years. And there's been science published on this. The key principle of the method is that it provides a stable structure for the coral fragment to take hold, and when combined with a nutrient-rich flowing water on all sides and sunlight, the fragments just flourish. However, the key to accomplishing this is 100% dependent on the availability of herbivorous fish to eat the algae that wants to settle on the reef. The elevated structure also provides a habitat for the fish to live in. No fish, no coral. No coral, no fish. Another reason why marine protected areas are so critical. We are now in the process of trialing the method on the Mesoamerican Reef in southern Mexico, and in the middle of an application permitting process to be able to trial it on the Great Barrier Reef off Cairns. We will look to add additional reef ecosystems in 2021. In conclusion, with privilege and opportunity also comes responsibility. The science of climate change is clear, as is the increasing voice of the world's youth. We need to listen to them. We need to act. Neither one country nor one company or one individual can do this on their own. We must all work as one against our mutual goal, in this case, our right to live. Regenerating our core ecosystems is possible, but it must be accompanied by serious reductions in carbon emissions to be useful, and long before 2050. The world we all want tomorrow must start today, and I agree that there is no planet B. Thank you.